Well, hello, Quest. It's good to see you again here. This is the 7th of January. So we're still kind of that first week after New Year. So it's still appropriate to say Happy New Year. Now, starting tomorrow, that's done. We move on. And it's no longer Happy New Year. It is the New Year. So I just want to say Happy New Year. So, really, two things I want to communicate today to each of you. And first of all is the one about the whole pandemic and its impact and the increase in the numbers of people who seem to be getting infected by this new variant called Omicron. And it's really hitting, right? The numbers are up. It's real. It's happening. It seems to be less serious, if you will. That's not really a great word to use because people are still getting very sick, and there are still some people who are passing away from this. But for many people, the numbers are up, but they seems to last a little longer, a little less hard hitting. But the numbers are real. And so the question would then be, how do we handle that here at Quest, and what are the protocols of going about this? Now, as you know, the City Council has put a mandate, and as we could predict, there would be a political football that would happen after that. It's just the whole reaction and lawsuits and yeses and nos, and this is ridiculous, and this is totally important. And it's such a difficult thing, and it's so unfortunate that both we don't know all the answers, that's hard, that science doesn't know all the perfection of this and precisely, but also that people turn it into an issue, and that is so discouraging to me. But we can't just put our head in the sand and not do something and respond and understand how we should act as a result. So if you're wondering what protocols we might be doing here at Quest, what we've decided is that we're going to continue with the same protocols that we've had before. So we're going to give the responsibility to each individual to handle this the best way that they can. And we're going to trust each other for that. And so you can wear a mask here at Quest, and you do not have to if you choose not to. Now, if people may not be wearing masks and you think it's critically important that they do, and you choose not to be here because of that, we understand that. We respect that. So do it as you choose. Now, I personally am going to choose to wear a mask more here at Quest than I have been for two reasons. One is for my own protection, but bigger for me is for your protection. And so I'm going to be wearing a mask more. I will not wear one from the stage, and I'm not going to ask the music team to wear one either. But we're going to try to be a little more careful in this whole process. So that's where we're at, and you can then choose, and we'll trust you and respect what you need to do and want to do. So hopefully that helps. The second thing I want to address today is our series that we're in. It's called Mission Identity. And it's really talking about the identity of Christ, as this is going to begin to reveal more and more and more of who Jesus is in this process. So identity is so important, right? Not only for us understanding who Jesus is, but then how does that affect how we see ourselves and our own identity, and then that identity would lead us to the way that we actually live, right? And so identity is so important. So I cut these videos in my office here at Quest, and you see all my books or some of my books in the background, and some knickknacks and this and that. I want to grab this picture right here for you for a second, just as an illustration, if you will, and maybe a little bit more about my own personal life. But let me grab this real quick and come back and tell you a little bit about it. So this is a picture of my kids. Obviously, they were much younger. And it's when we were living in California in Long Beach, and this is a fort that I had built in the backyard for them, and it was a lot of fun. But they were sitting at the top stair of this fort. It was up about 5 feet off the ground, and they were sitting together, and we said, "Hey, take a picture. Why don't you guys make it funny? Do something kind of fun with it." And so this is what the result was. And you know what? It's so interesting because it shows who they are in such a unique way, and in fact, who they are still are. So in the middle is our oldest. His name's Toby, and it's such a fun look, right? It's kind of that really fun, and that's just so who he is. To his side is our second child. It's Travis. And Travis is pulling his mouth apart, so it'll be fun. And it's always over the top. It's a little extreme, right, in this picture. And then our daughter, Tori, is on the other side of Toby. And she's got that really sassy look on her face. And so this is how they chose to pose, if you will, for this picture. Well, it's funny that's just so who they are even today. Toby's this really fun guy. He's got a fun sense of humor. He's really enjoyable to be with. Travis is totally fun, but Travis is like a little over the top, right? He just is a little more extreme, a little more dramatic. He's pulling his mouth apart. That's so him. And our daughter, Tori, she's just, her strength is she's absolutely sassy. And she's a defender of justice. She's a tough one. And she has this little sassy edge to her. That's so who they are still in their own personality. But beyond personality, we need to understand our identity as people. It's been said that there are three critical questions that we all deal with, but especially young people, as they struggle with identity and deal with identity and grow in their identity. They really want to know three things. Who am I? How do I fit in the world? And after that, what's my purpose? What's my mission? So who am I? So fundamentally, incredibly important, their identity as a human being. How do I fit in the world? And what's my purpose? What am I here for? So those, I think, are so powerful. Maybe one of the most powerful concepts that's rolling around in our culture today. Maybe that's been true in every culture, in every age, but I do think that as our culture is less connected to a foundational or a transcendent reality or truth. In other words, what are the things that were made to be true, they are true, and they continue to be true, a Judeo-Christian framework of life, a biblical framework of life. And the farther we reject that, the more we reject it, the farther we get away from that, then all of the answers to those questions are simply we make up for ourselves. Who am I? No one's going to tell me who I am. I have to figure it out for myself. Where do I fit in the world? No one's going to help me figure that out. I have to figure that out for myself. And what is the meaning and the purpose of my life? We're left to ourselves for that. And in some ways that feels like tremendous freedom. But actually, I think it's tremendous bondage. Because we're actually made in a certain way that God has made us, of who we are. Now there's uniquenesses, just like I showed here in this picture with my kids, their own personalities. But there is a character to life that God has given us. And the more we reject that, the more confusing life gets. That where do I fit in the world is answered in so much of that is answered by understanding who God is and who He's made us to be and the unique design and how I fit in the world. And then what's my meaning and my purpose and figuring that out. Those are very difficult things. Those are incredibly important things in this day and age. And so we're going to start by looking at the identity of Christ and who He is. And so this Sunday we'll start into chapter 11 of Matthew in this unique interaction between Jesus and His disciples and John the Baptist, and how that all works out in revealing not only the identity of John the Baptist, but the identity of Jesus and what He's all about. And it informs us then about who we are. It informs us how to live our lives. So, we're looking forward to our time together. And hopefully this helps you not only with the mask mandate, but where we're headed in our addressing Sunday mornings. But it's really the addressing, what does it mean to be a follower of Jesus? And that's our lives, daily. every day, every hour, every minute. What does it mean to follow Jesus with our whole lives? That we would choose him to be really the master of our lives. And that it's absolute freedom to live so well the way he's designed us to live when we make him the king of every moment, right? Okay. Well, you guys, thank you for your time today. I love you. Take care. Look forward to seeing you. Be safe. Be wise. But be confident in the reality that God will live in you and he will live through you in this world. And he'll use you as a light. So trust him and be well, okay? All right, see ya.